Hi guys, how are you all doing today? And in today's video I am going to be discussing about stateless and stateful widgets, and we are going to start building our very first Flutter application, and we are going to understand how they work in action. So let's get started. I'm going to be starting off by building my first Flutter app, and for doing that I'm going to just run a command called flutter create and the name of my app. So I've just named it my first app. And what that will do is create the project structure for my Flutter app that I can use to get started with my development. After creating the app from command line, I have just imported the project into VS Code. To do my Flutter app development, I have just launched the Flutter emulator by using the flutter emulator -- launch command, and I've given the emulator name, and that has launched the emulator that I want to use. And when I execute the flutter run command, it will launch my application within the emulator. So this is the default app that gets created when we execute the flutter create command, and it has an action button, and upon pressing the action button it just increments the counter. So the next thing that we are going to do is look at modifying this default application and adding a stateful and a stateless widget and understanding what the difference between those two is. Before we dig into any coding, I wanted to briefly cover the difference between stateful and stateless widgets. In Flutter, everything that we built are widgets, and they can be either stateful or stateless. Stateful widgets can change when a user interacts with it. A stateful widget is dynamic. It can change in appearance in response to events triggered by user interactions or when it receives data. Examples of stateful widgets are checkboxes, radio buttons, slider, form, text field. A stateless widget never changes, and examples of stateless widgets are icons, icon button, and text. Now that we have covered the basic definition, let's dig into these and understand them in more detail. I have prepared a sample project now to understand these in more detail. In my sample project, I have created a couple of widgets, and I have the home page widget, which is an example of the stateful widget, and I have a splash screen widget, which is the example of a stateless widget. So let's run the project and understand how they work. A stateful widget is implemented by two classes, a subclass of stateful widget and a subclass of state. The state class contains the widget's mutable state and the widget's build method. In this case, my homepage is the stateful widget that I'm building, and the my homepage state represents the mutable state of my homepage. The create state method is overridden, and it returns the homepage state that we create below. Let us now see our application running in action. So I will execute the flutter run command and launch my application. So now that my app has loaded, these are the widgets that I have added in my home screen. So there is a font size selection, which is a drop down list, and then I have a checkbox for bold and italics, and then below that I have a text widget which shows some welcome text. So in a stateful widget, whenever a user interaction happens, it will cause the widget to rebuild. For example, if I change the font size, it's rebuilding the whole widget tree to reflect the changes. And if I check the checkbox, again it's rebuilding the widget tree to reflect the changes on the screen. So now let's go through the code and understand how this is working. So in my home page state, I am maintaining the following data. I have a font size variable which tracks the size of the font, and then I have a couple of Boolean variables which track whether the text is bold and italics. Whenever any user interaction happens which changes the value of any of these properties, I will call the setState method, and in the setState method I will assign the new value to that property. And once that happens, it will cause the widget to rebuild again. To understand this in more clarity, I have added some debug print functions to print out some logs. So within my build widget function, I have added a debug print saying the build of my homepage is happening. Similarly, I have added some debug print functions in the setState method where I am changing the state. So a debug print function where the font size is changing, and again a debug print function where the bold is changing and where the italic is changing. So now let's have a look at this in action. So if I change the font size, it will call the setState method and it will change the font size to a new value. And then once that is happening, the build function will be called again. Similarly, if I select bold, the bold is being set to true and my build function is called again. Italics, again the italics is set to true and my build function is being called again. So every time the data that is available in my widget changes by calling setState, the build method is called again to rebuild the whole widget. And that's how the stateful widget works. Now let's go ahead and understand about stateless widgets. So for the purposes of this example, I will go back to my app.dart and replace my home page with a splash page that I have built as an example for the stateless widget in my material app. So I have replaced the home page with splash page, and let's now stop and rebuild my application. So now my splash screen has loaded, and let's have a look at the splash page to understand in more detail. A stateless widget never changes. My stateless widget splash page is a subclass of stateless widget. You can see that there are no data or any properties being maintained, and this is immutable, which means that it will never change. In my case, I am building a splash screen with a circle avatar which I want to present in the beginning of my app, and there is no user interaction happening here apart from just showing some static content. So this concludes the difference that I wanted to cover with stateless and stateful widgets, and this example is also present in GitHub, and I have added a link down in the description below, and I hope you guys find this useful. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.